Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. As some of you know, my next book, the NES Omnibus Volume 2, has been delayed until late January, which means most of you guys that pre-ordered the book or that backed it on Kickstarter will be getting it sometime in February as I process these orders that come in. I'm going to be shipping out well over 300 books, just myself. That doesn't include Amazon orders or anything like that. That's just ones I'm signing and shipping myself. One-man operation here, so bear with me. But the book has been delayed because you know what's going on in the world with all the shipping delays and everything. And I really hate this, but I got a box in the mail today from Schiffer, and I think it might be my advance copy. Apparently, so the book was supposed to ship by now, all the books, you know, the entire order. You know, Kickstarters, everybody should have gotten their books by around now because it was supposed to ship October 28th, and I would have gotten a lot out in the mail to you guys already, but there is the delay. But I've got this. I thought I would at least show you guys and gals what the book looks like. Now, I hate this because I want all of you to have the book along with me, but there's just one copy. I think that's what's in here. They don't tell me ahead of time they're sending me my advance copy. They don't give me any kind of heads up. There's no markings on the book to say, or on the box to say what it is. But I'm gonna unbox this. It feels a little heavy for one book, and it's obviously a thicker package than one book, but they've been known to insert things in the boxes before, sort of as a congratulations. So let's see what is in this box. Hopefully it is my advanced copy of the NES Omnibus Volume 2. And in this video, assuming that's what it is, I will open up the book and show you some pages and just talk a little bit more about it. So let's get to the unboxing, shall we? I know a lot of companies, a lot of game systems have been delayed, a lot of independent projects, books and things. I think we've got the book here. But first, and the reason I know that is because Schiffer has a tendency to include a celebratory bottle of wine. That's very classy of them. Stargazer's Gruner Veltliner 2017 Chester County. It says, originating from Austria, this Gruner Veltliner has a clean, crisp minerality with notes of apples. I love apple notes. And aroma and aromatics of pear blossom. Serve chilled. Well, I'll have to drink this later because obviously it's not chilled coming out of the box. So let's get to the book. Yep, it's a heavy bad boy. And wow. After all this time, after all the work, here it is, the NES Omnibus Volume 2 in all its glory. It's got a nice heft to it. And hey, little flyer for it. Probably have some of these printed out and hand them out at shows and whatnot. But there we go, guys. The NES Omnibus Volume 2. Wow. Can't believe it's already, not already. I can't believe it's finally here, or at least my advance copy. And I'm so sorry that, that I can't get this out to you guys right away. There is the delay. But so many things have been delayed. So let's lay this book out on the table so you guys can get a better look at it. All right, here we go, guys. An advanced look at the physical edition of the NES Omnibus Volume 2. You can get the digital version by being a subscriber at the $8 level. At my Patreon page, you just Google Brett Weiss Patreon. You can already read the digital version. I'll also put the link to my Patreon page in the description here. Got a foreword by Rob McCallum, filmmaker. A lot of you guys have probably seen Nintendo Quest, really cool movie. There's me getting Rygar for Christmas when I was 20 years old. Check out my Batman shirt well before the Batman craze. That was in 88 here, and the Batman movie came out in 89. Anyway, just gonna flip to some random pages. Good looking book. Mad Max. So check it out, guys. Mad Max. Got your standard write-up. But then Christopher Pico, the old-ass retro gamer, goes into a really interesting story about testing that game when he was a kid for the company. Pretty cool. All kinds of nostalgic stories about the NES, different games from other writers, not just myself. All the gray boxes are nostalgic stories. Of course, Metroid. Metroid is going to get a lot of coverage. Not just half a page or whatever. Lots of coverage. And pretty well laid out. I appreciate Schiffer doing that. Such a great job. They have a great design team. I, provide the text and the photos, and I have contributing writers contribute, nostalgic stories. But I send that all into Schiffer, and they actually do the layouts. They ask for suggestions, and I give them some input. But it's Schiffer that actually does the layout, and they do such a great job. Just really sturdy binding, gorgeous reproductions of these photos. I submit, high resolution photos, and their paper quality is so good, and they're, it's just Schiffer's been around, gosh, probably since the 70s. Long time, very established publishing house. Great stuff. Dodgeball, what a fun game. Look at that. Look at all that text. This book will keep you reading for many hours. Great nostalgic story about Swamp Thing by the producer of The King of Arcades. She's a great writer, Crystal. Three Stooges. That's an interesting, basically, collection of mini games. Awesome, totally rad. You gotta love such of the zeitgeist. Ultima series was, translated reasonably well to the NES. Wacky Races. Surprisingly, this isn't a racing game. It's a platformer. How nutty is that? It's a hard one to find nowadays. Very desired title. Anyway, just a big, honking thick book. The second half of the NES library. I always loved when classics like Kix and Millipede and Xevious and games like that came to the NES. Popeye, Nintendo's own Popeye. Chris Boers, the irate gamer, really popular YouTuber, contributed some nostalgic stories. And at the back, the patrons who were patrons to my page in time, they're actually mentioned at the front of the book, but in the back, you've got special thanks to Kickstarter backers and early book supporters. Really cool. So you've got supplementary material like PAL exclusive NES games, sports games of the NES by Patrick Hickey Jr., great writer. Everything I Needed to Know I Learned from the NES by Shane Stein, who this book is dedicated to. Great friend of mine, and he's been super supportive over the years. There you go. This is the only physical copy of the NES Omnibus Volume 2 that I have access to. I wish I could ship you guys yours. I will be shipping these in February. I just, temporarily, if you go on Patreon, $8, you can get a digital copy of the book just for subscribing at the $8 level. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks to my patrons who helped make all of this possible. Thanks to Schiffer Publishing. Thanks to my wife, Carice, who always answers my many computer questions so patiently. Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And, if you want to pre-order the physical copy, you can certainly do so. BrettWeissWords.com, you can find all my books. We'll talk to you in another video. Thanks for watching. What makes the Omnibus books different than similar works? They're awesome. They have nostalgic stories by industry insiders, YouTube personalities, and other folks. They have quotes from vintage magazines. Every game gets at least a full page of coverage Some of the bigger titles get multiple pages, as they well deserve, and on and on. If you're a fan of my work, you might want to consider supporting me on Patreon. For just a low fee each month, you get a lot of extra content. Another way to support the channel and my writing career is to buy books direct from me, including the 100 Greatest Console Video Games, the Classic Home Video Game Series. It's like an encyclopedia set. And this massive bad boy, the NES Omnibus Volume 1 A through L. I will put links in the description of this video where you can buy books direct from me and where you can support me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.